It's time for Debrief, your quick wrap-up of TRT World's top stories from the week.
Hi guys, got you.
Sağ olun.
Very kind of yours.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome to TRT World special coverage on this, the 10th anniversary of the failed coup attempt in Turkey. July the 15th, 2016 was a night of national defiance and victory for democracy. So, the nation is marking 1 decade of its historic resistance against the coup plotters of the FETÖ terror group.
It all began on a normal summer evening in Istanbul, but by 10 p.m., the scene changed dramatically. The landmark Bosporus Bridge and the Fatih Sultan Mehmet Bridge were suddenly blocked by soldiers and armed vehicles. Soon after, military helicopters began firing on civilians. Then Prime Minister Binali Yildirim quickly announced a certain group within the military was attempting to overthrow the government. Several buildings, including the presidential complex and the Turkish parliament in Ankara, were bombed by the government's own F-16 fighter jets. Media channels were forced to go off air. A TRT anchor was forced to read the coup declaration. The Turkish president reached out to the nation through a video call on live TV. He urged people to protect Turkey's democracy. And that's what millions did. On Istanbul's Bosporus Bridge, civilians stood their ground, many facing live fire. Thanks to the people, the coup failed.
I extend my gratitude to the heroic members of our Turkish armed forces who upheld the honorable uniform entrusted to them by the nation in the face of the terrorists who betrayed their uniforms on the night of July 15. To our gendarmerie, our police, our special operations units, and all our security forces, and to every member of my beloved nation who took the streets carrying flags in their hands, prayers on their lips, and love for Turkey in their hearts.
Turkey's response to the failed coup attempt did not end when the immediate threat was over. While eliminating FETÖ terrorists, Ankara also began to reshape its entire security strategy at home. And even before 2016, a hidden network that would later be known as the FETÖ terror group had built itself deep inside Turkey, including within institutions critical to the nation's security.
It was from this compound in Pennsylvania that the FETÖ group leader was based. FETÖ operated 162 charter schools with more than 70,000 students, according to an investigation by US lawyer Robert Amsterdam.
Turkey transitioned from a parliamentary system to an executive presidential system following the 2017 constitutional referendum. Turkey restructured its military institutions, removing FETÖ-linked personnel. Members of the FETÖ terrorist organization who had infiltrated the judiciary were identified and removed from their positions. Turkey launched an extensive diplomatic campaign to inform the host countries about schools linked to the FETÖ terrorist organization and the security risks they pose. Another significant initiative has been the pursuit of a terror-free Turkey and a terror-free region.
A decade later, the footsteps are different. The crowds crossing Istanbul's July 15 Martyrs Bridge are not running towards danger and the unknown. Instead, they return each year to march in remembrance. At the Turkish Grand National Assembly, where fighter jets bombed the parliament building, the focus is on honoring those who defended the country's democratic institutions. Commemorations also took place at the presidential complex, where officials paid tribute to those who lost their lives during the failed coup attempt. But it was the nation's garden that the country's largest gathering took place. Families of victims, veterans, and thousands of people carrying Turkish flags came together.
We've seen a commemoration, a memorial for the 253 martyrs that have died 10 years ago today in Üsküdar. We've seen snacks and treats being handed out in Ortaköy. We've seen a fleet of 253 ships bearing in solitude of the 253 martyrs that have died on the fateful day today.
US projectiles have struck at least 4 locations in the southwestern Iranian port city of Bushehr, which is home to an active nuclear power station.
3 straight nights of attacks on Iran's military infrastructure, including this US drone ship to attack an Iranian port, and Donald Trump is promising a 4th night.
We're hitting them very hard. We had a deal yesterday or the day before yesterday, it was all done. And then they broke up that deal immediately.
Trump is also reinstating the U.S. naval blockade on Iranian seaports. And the U.S. Navy says that blockade will extend to include the entire Iranian coastline.
Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi has mocked President Trump's claim the U.S. will impose a 20% toll on vessels transiting the Strait of Hormuz, saying Tehran would charge a lower rate. He said Trump is absolutely right. Whoever provides secure and safe passage of commercial vessels through the strait should be compensated for this service. He said Iran has always been the guardian of the strait and will remain so forever.
It is declared that, following previous warnings, under no circumstances will we allow nor will we permit the United States to interfere in the management of the Strait of Hormuz.
It's been revealed that President Trump quietly sent a letter to Congress this past weekend informing them that he has indeed officially restarted this war.
US President Donald Trump has replaced his demand for a 20% fee on ships passing through the Strait of Hormuz with investments from Gulf countries into the United States. Well, Trump says he made the decision after receiving calls from Gulf leaders asking him to remove the fee.
The US has bombed key bridges in Iran. Gulf states have come under fire from Iranian drones and missiles. The fear of a return to all-out war is increasing by the day. The increasing tensions have all but stopped shipping.
Washington's military campaign entered its 6th consecutive night. Pakistan, which brokered last month's Memorandum of Understanding between Tehran and Washington, along with China, urged both sides to return to talks.
We underscored that a renewed conflict serves no one's interest.
Here's the news in brief, where we bring you even more top stories.
Starting in the Red Sea, where a fragile truce that has held for nearly 3 years between the Houthis and Saudi Arabia appears to be unraveling after the targeting of a Yemeni airport on Monday. Houthi rebels fired missiles towards the kingdom after an airport in the capital Sana'a was struck. Yemen's internationally recognized government owned up to the attack, but the Houthis hold Riyadh responsible. While Yemen's Saudi-backed government says the strike aimed to prevent an Iranian plane from landing, as it would be a violation of its sovereignty, the rebels in control of Sana'a say the plane landed anyway. The exchange comes as Reuters reports Iran has asked the Houthis to stand ready to close the Bab el-Mandeb gateway to the Red Sea if the United States strikes Iranian energy infrastructure. That waterway is one of the world's busiest shipping routes. Any disruption there could threaten global energy supplies and draw the region deeper into the conflict. In Ukraine, President Volodymyr Zelensky is facing a rare public backlash after dismissing one of his most popular ministers. Defence Minister Fedorov just spent 6 months in the role, but was widely credited with modernizing Ukraine's military and expanding its technological edge on the battlefield. Despite the ongoing war, protesters gathered in the capital for a second day on Friday, urging Zelensky to reverse the decision.
Yes, the government does need some kind of reset right now, but it should retain those people who are effective in their positions and who deliver results for the country, both for the military and the civilian population.
Zelensky says Fedorov will continue serving Ukraine in another position, even as Russian attacks on Kiev killed more than a dozen people on Thursday. Over in Syria, another milestone in the country's political transition. The new parliament held its inaugural session on Sunday, electing its first speaker since the fall of Bashar al-Assad. As for its next sessions, the chamber faces a far bigger task: helping rebuild Syria after decades of one-party rule.
It is going to work on reviewing the past 60 years during the rule of the Assad regime and the Ba'ath Party and all the laws that they have worked on passing on to strengthen and deepen its control on the civilian and political life in the country. The new Syrian parliament is going to suggest, is going to amend, is going to repeal, and is going to ratify new legislation in order to rebuild the Syrian constitution all over again.
Off the coast of Myanmar, the United Nations fears more than 500 Rohingya refugees may have died after 2 boats disappeared in the Andaman Sea. Most of those on board were fleeing conflict and persecution in Myanmar, with many believed to have traveled from overcrowded refugee camps in Bangladesh in search of safety. The UN says nearly 900 Rohingya refugees died or went missing on the same route last year, making it the world's deadliest sea crossing for refugees and migrants.
And here's a taste of our features from the World Cup.
England are looking to end a 60-year title drought at the World Cup, and the fans are finally hoping to answer the question, is it coming home?
I'd like to think so. I think it will do. I think this team is getting stronger as the tournament progresses. So, yeah, I'm quietly confident.
Thomas Tuchel's side have been tested, overcoming tough opponents like Mexico and Norway.
We know why we're here. We know what we want. We were never shy of expecting that from us, of saying it, of dreaming it. We are in the semi-finals. We arrive very hungry in the semi-finals. We want to have the next win.
Standing in their way, their biggest tests yet.
History is within Argentina's reach, but they're also chasing a 6-decade-old white whale, defending a World Cup title. But despite reaching another semi-final, Lionel Scaloni's side have shown moments of vulnerability throughout the tournament.
Argentina struggled past sides like Cape Verde and Egypt. Now, they know not to do that against England.
Jude Bellingham and Harry Kane are 2 great players, among the best in the world. They are players that any manager would love to have, to be honest. We'll certainly try to neutralize them with our own tactics and prevent them from having a good game. We've got our game plan and we hope to put it in action.
4 years ago, Argentina rallied behind Lionel Messi as he lifted the one trophy that had always eluded him. That motivation hasn't faded.
Yeah, even more special for him. It's probably his World Cup, so hopefully he can do it again.
The pressure is immense on both sides. When the first whistle blows in Atlanta on Wednesday, one of the football's greatest rivalries will write another chapter. But only one nation will leave with their World Cup dream still alive.
Celebration have erupted across the country as Argentina beat England in this semi-final for the World Cup. I can tell you this felt more like a real World Cup final for many of the Argentina fans. The tension, the nervousness, but also the confidence that they were able to win in this game.